For the videos, for the soaps today, I'm doing one video. Um, Tomorrow I'll go back to two videos in the usual schedule. Okay, don't freak out. Okay. I saw Leonard today, and also I have to say something. My TV has a TV guide as function, right? Only thing is, on YNR for today's episode, it said repeat, but on Bold the Beautiful, it said new. So I went in there thinking it was going to be a new episode. It was not. So I was disappointed. And they pulled from like last year or something because I remember that episode when I started watching it. I was like, really? Okay. Okay. So one I was more interesting today than both. I don't know how they figured that, but it happened. Okay. Now this is gonna go back into your memory a little bit. Okay. So they talked about how Colleen is still unalive at this point. I don't know when this happened, okay? But she's not alive. And Ashley was with Victor, but then Ashley got engaged to whoever Stephen Nichols played on YNR for the time. She was engaged to him. And then they did some funny thing where Nikki was thinking about being with Jack. Really weird. I don't know. And then Victoria was with I think it was Billy, right? Yeah, because it was sad. I had a sad moment for about 30 seconds because um I have to remember the chain. Okay, Billy Abbott was played by Billy Miller for a time, right? And the reason I'm sad is because we all know he passed away, sadly. I think a year or two ago. Yeah, so it was kind of good to see him and sad to see him at the same time. Um, and then Nick was a lot younger back then, and apparently the story is they had a falling out. So then, okay, the premise is Victor has done a lot of bad stuff, and he gets the Christmas Carol treatment because he gets visited by the three ghosts, and then he gets a chance to change his past, change his stuff so that his future won't turn out bad, right? Okay, now this is where I might get messed up, so forgive me because it's from the past. But the Christmas present ghost was Sabrina. Apparently, she was involved with Victor. Don't know the storyline. No idea. Okay. Um. Okay. Then, like I said, Nikki was thinking about being with Jack. For some reason, I don't know. And then, apparently, Victor had pissed off Victoria because in his future, when he was visited by the future ghost, it, whatever, showed him that Victoria took over the company after that. And then Nick became a workaholic and didn't have a good relationship with his son. And his son at that point was a little bitty boy, and the son grew up to be a man, and they had a very distant relationship. So it was sad. But I mean, it was good because, of course, at the end, like in the real Christmas Carol, Victor makes amends, and now he's on everybody's good side again. So it was a good episode. Okay, now switching over to Bone the Beautiful real quick. Um, this was the Christmas that I'm trying to remember names. Rich was with Brooke, but they broke up. So he was alone and at Eric's house. And they had some kind of talking. And he said, well, I'm glad to be spending it with you, but I don't have any other option and stuff. So you know that Brooke and Rich are going to get back together anyway, whatever. So that was that. Then Taylor comes in and gives him his really old pen, the first pen he ever got or something. And he's like, I thought I lost this pen forever. Yeah. And then, let's see, what else happened? Oh, thing I remember the most is the wardrobe. Gotta say, the wardrobe is always top notch on Bold and the Beautiful. I'm saying, okay, Heather Tom as Katie was in a red dress. Great. Sparkly red. Can't be beat. Okay. Then Jennifer Garris as Donna was in a purple, like a hot, like dark purple, but like shiny. Both great dresses. That's what I remember. I remember wardrobe. Sue me. I'm a girl. Sometimes I have moments. Because I've been called a tomboy sometimes in my life, so but I do notice fashion. Yeah. And then Zendaya was there and it feels like everybody was kind of there, but of course not everybody, but a lot of people were there. But I mean, it's cool. But it just didn't leave a lasting impression. But then again, they kind of don't unless they have a good storyline to go with it, which is kind of weird because most of the time, now this is kind of an aside, but this is also like a learning tool thing. Okay, before the holidays, you have your running storyline, right? And then you have breaks for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, especially, right? So sometimes, now it depends. Sometimes they weave in Thanksgiving to kind of what they're doing. But then sometimes, and more often than not, they have kind of a standalone episode where it's like Thanksgiving only, Christmas only, meaning they kind of forget the storyline and totally do something Thanksgiving or Christmas centric, where it's kind of like forget the storyline, or we're gonna toss you this holiday thing, which is cool. But then if you're like me and you try to go chronologically with what the storyline is, and then they abandon it, it's kind of weird in your mind. Well, for me, my mind has to focus on, okay, abandon that, and it's going to be holiday, whatever. So that's kind of what happens with these other episodes because I'm like, okay. And then I don't remember the people in it because unless I happen to be watching it at the time, then I'm like, oh yeah, she was in it and he was in it. But other than that, I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know how they're connected because you don't understand. I do like kind of like family trees, but they're like webs of like this one's connected to that one, who's connected to this one, who's connected to that one. That's what I have to do when it gets really convoluted. So, all right. Bye, everybody.